Well, hello and welcome to Outdoor Oklahoma. I'm Todd Craighead. You know, every year the Wildlife Department offers its Wildlife Expo out at the Lazy E Arena, and it's a huge event. Today I'm joined by Rachel Bradley, who experienced your first expo last year. So what'd you think?
My first expo was awesome. I can't tell you how much fun I had. You know, Todd, I grew up outdoors shooting guns at our family farm, and I was fishing all the time and all kinds of stuff. But you know what I haven't done that I got to do at Expo?
No.
Bow fish. It was so cool. It was too cool. And the cameras got to go along this year. So let's check it out. The 7th annual Wildlife Expo at the Lazy E Arena. There's so many things to do out here. We've got shotgun shooting, birdhouse making, we've got make and take fishing lures, and here there's family fishing clinics. And the best thing about it, they're all free. You can bring your family of all ages and do all kinds of things wildlife in Oklahoma. Awesome. Have you shot a shotgun before?
Yeah.
You have?
Yes.
You go hunting with your parents?
Yeah.
You do? For what? What do you hunt for?
I don't know. I've actually caught 3 catfish.
3 catfish? About this big?
They were about like this big.
Whoa! We're here at Sparky at the Wildlife Expo. He's running the fishing clinics for us. Sparky, how's it going?
Slow today, but yesterday when all the kids were here, it was really quick, but it's starting to pick up this afternoon.
Because yesterday was a school day, right?
Oh yeah, I don't know how many kids we ended up having, but it was...
You think about 4,000 to 6,000?
Yeah, we had to have at least between 1,000 and 1,500 out here yesterday just at the clinic.
Wow, that's nuts. How are the clinics going so far?
Going real smooth. Everybody seems to be able to take care of their own stuff, you know, pretty well. The kids are enjoying catching what they are catching today. You know, we've been doing the expo now for 7 years, so we've been stocking it for 7 years, and I think a few of those fish that we've been stocking over the last few years are really starting to catch up in size. They're quite a bit bigger than what we've seen in the last few years. They're just finally catching up. And with the pond kind of being down with the drought, I think it's kind of made the fish a little bit easier to find some food stuff and be able to hang out and, you know, and things like that. So we're seeing quite a bit bigger fish than we were in the last few years.
We'll show Mama the picture, okay?
Is that a catfish? You see its whiskers here? Does it look like a cat?
Oh, look at that gentleman right there behind you. Look at that.
Is this your first time to fish?
Say
wow. Hi. Do you want to feel it? It doesn't have scales. It has skin like we have. Isn't it smooth?
Oh man, she wants her mama to know about this.
So y'all allow people to come here every weekend and fish, right?
So thank y'all.
Now you, Frank, you volunteer with the Wildlife Department all the time. How many years have you been doing fishing clinics for us?
About 12.
About 12?
Yeah.
Are you worn out yet?
Oh no.
What's your favorite thing about doing at the expo?
I'll say helping the little kids out there fish and teach them fly fishing.
Well, tell us about this fly fishing.
All right.
So I put my brake here.
You break,
My 2 fingers.
you pick it up, wait,
Okay.
and throw it out.
Okay. So I just stall at the top.
Stall at the top.
Do I need
Okay.
this hand?
No, don't
Okay.
use this hand.
Don't use this hand.
Put just 2 fingers is what I like
Just
to see.
2 fingers. These 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
Palm down the center.
Okay. Up, wait,
wait,
back.
slow.
That's it? Do you need to be an adult to do fly fishing?
I'm going to say you've got to be pretty good size. You know, we get these small kids, and it's just nothing but just throwing. And that don't work. So you got to be old enough to understand, you know, the technique behind it. These are the little critters we use for fly rods.
Oh, all right. They're bright colors.
Yeah, and like Joe always tells me, a good friend of mine that teaches the class, he likes chartreuse. Chartreuse and chartreuse.
Can't call it green?
He likes that chartreuse. But, you know, if you're going to go fly fishing and you buy your little deal of lures or little flies, get several colors. The white ones, the little spotted ones, and get out there and play. Just like anytime you go fishing and you're throwing a lure, we don't know what they're hitting on until you get a hit.
Have you tried the cinnamon roll yet? You have? What do you think? It's really good. Is it just like Grandma's? Or better?
Well, obviously by doing the demonstration over here, they're teaching people about Dutch ovens and how to use them and how versatile they are how, I mean, they will last forever. They get passed down from generation to generation, and it's a lost art, and we just want to reintroduce that art so that we get some kids interested in it, and it carries on for another 100 years or so.
Oh, I think it's great. We've had a good time, enjoyed the weekend, and fantastic for the children.
How many years have you been doing this?
This is my first year.
It's your first year. Wow, I bet you're having fun.
I love it. I think it's great.
Served at least 4,000 samples. We had 9,800 students come through here. That didn't count the adults, and so we were very, very busy seeing all the little kiddos come through. It was exciting. I'm an educator. I teach 7th grade science in Ponca City at West Middle School, and we had our first group of West Middle School students come through yesterday. So it was really great to see some of my own school.
So what have you got going on in there?
There's some chopped ham, 2 different kinds of cheese. There's an Italian cheese and then a cheddar cheese, and cream cheese in here, and some Tony Chachere's. There's Chachere's in the bread and Chachere's in here both. And then we have one of our game wardens that doesn't like green vegetables of some sort. So I have green onions to put in. One batch is going to have green onions, one isn't. And then I'll roll this up. So you cook
to order?
Yes. I'll roll this up like you would a cinnamon roll.
Oh, okay.
And then I cut it, and you just twist it over, and then I'll put it in a circle in the pan. And we make the Dutch oven act like a bundt cake pan.
Oh.
I would put a pan in the middle of it. A hole, so that it can bake around it, and it just, I mean, it looks kind of braided when it rises.
So it's real pretty, I bet.
It is pretty. It is.
Well, looks good. I'll have to come back and try
yummy.
it. Wow, what all can you do? I mean, you guys seem to do a lot of pastry type things.
Anything, absolutely anything you do in your oven or on top of your stove, we can do in our Dutch oven.
Wow, so it's very versatile.
We've had people that have said, oh, you can't do such and such. One person on the internet said you can't do a souffle. You can do a souffle. Wow. The one that I was challenged down here 3 or 4 years ago, they said, you can't do a coconut cream pie. Yeah, go ask Tracy Daniels. He gets one every year down here for his birthday.
That was it. Just dust on it, okay? You're all over them.
Is that your first time to do that? What'd you think?
Huh?
What'd you think?
It was fun.
It's fun? Did you get any pigeons? You didn't? Maybe next time. You better hop in that line again, huh?
Right up here.
Okay. Pull.
Perfect.
Got it! Okay.
How many did she get? 2.
How many did I shoot?
You did good.
Don't tell it. Well, next time we'll get it. I had some good teachers. Thank you.
This is the dog training area. We've got a lot of different guys coming in with different breeds of dogs, talking to the folks about how to train your dog for hunting or even just obedience training in general. How to get the most out of your dog. We've got a lot of different folks from all across the state coming. We've got German Drothars coming up right now. We've got Labradors, Pointers, Beagles, Cur dogs, big variety. Everybody needs to come out and take a look.
So, are any of the dogs here for sale?
No, none of the dogs here are for sale.
No dogs for sale. So what do I want to do if I want to find a good breed that I can take out to the woods with me?
Well, we can kind of tell you what kind of breeds you might need depending on what you want to hunt.
Oh, okay.
We've got to kind of start there first. And then we can talk, I can refer you to whichever trainer is working with that breed of dog here, if we have that breed of dog here. And they usually have good contacts for breeders. And some of them are breeders themselves. Our assistant director, Wade Freed, does a lot of training.
So talk to me about the difference between some of the different bird dogs.
Some of the different bird dogs. It's kind of like some of the different vehicles. You like a Ford, a Chevy, a Dodge, a Toyota. You got to pick the car you like. So pick the breed you like.
Pick the breed you
like. You got to like your dog. You got to like your truck.
So
if you're an upland hunter, you're going to want a pointing dog. If you're a duck hunter, you want a retriever. Some people want flushing dogs like spaniels. If you want to chase fur, you use coonhounds. You use the hounds. So what I deal with is upland dogs, pointing. My best tip is get a dog you like and spend lots of time with it. If you can't spend a lot of time with it, you don't need a dog.
Don't get it.
Yeah.
Right. All
love
right.
your dog and it'll love you.
Man's best friend, right?
Yeah. It's kind of like your kids. If you don't spend much time with them, they're going to be trouble later. I guarantee you.
Oh, come on.
See my problem? That's what happens. Yeah.
You know, Rachel, the cool thing about the expo is that there's literally something there for everyone.
Absolutely everyone. An 8-year-old can participate, an 80-year-old can participate. It doesn't matter what your outdoor skill level is. You can be a beginner or an experienced outdoorsman and fine-tune your techniques on a particular sport. It's truly awesome and for everyone.
You know, one of the most popular events inside the arena is the Operation Game Thief trailer that the game wardens host, and the Decoy deer as well.
It was pretty cool.
And coming up next, we're going to share the history of the Decoy deer program told by 3 of its pioneers.
Road hunting, which is running up and down the roads, shooting out the wind at deer, was a huge problem.
The people are driving down the roads. Number one, they don't have permission. They're shooting out of the vehicles. They're shooting from the roads. They don't know what's out there. Enforcement of that is very, very difficult because you got to have 3 things. You got to have the game warden there, you got to have the deer there, and you got to have the bad guy there, all at the exact same time. But you can see the chances of that happening naturally are slim and none.
You know, I would drive along and see some deer in a field, and I would try to find a place to hide my truck and get set up where I could watch the deer. And hopefully they would still be there when somebody came by, and that was really, really hard to get done.
Here we are frustrated because we know what's going on and we cannot get a handle on it because you can't get those 3 elements, the vehicle hunter, the deer, and you, the game warden, all at the same place at the same time, and be where you can watch it happen.
The Decoy deer program was initiated in 1987 by Larry Mannering and myself.
We're sitting around, we're frustrated. We're talking amongst ourselves, and Joe Carter worked at West Osage. Doug Frazier was stationed at Skytook. John Lowry was our lieutenant, and Dave Strang was at Bartlesville. Fred was at Nowata, and we're all facing the very same dilemma.
I'd been working for 5 years in Craig County, and I couldn't see that I was making any difference in the amount of road hunting.
How do we stop this road hunting that's just killing us? And the landowners are disappointed that we can't get a handle on it because we're trying.
The decoy, what it did, I could get out before daylight, set the decoy up, and get my truck hid and have a catch truck. If they decided to run, if they didn't stop, it put everybody in the same spot at the same time.
Okay guys, we got a vehicle northbound. It's the Chevy extended cab.
Z71 northbound, stand by. Okay, vehicle's got 2 occupants, both in camouflage.
Yeah, man, I hope we get a big one. There should be a big one around here, I heard about it.
Yeah, I was down here the other day, scoping out and saw him.
Yeah.
Hey, there he is.
I see him.
There he is. Get your gun.
Okay, they stop.
I got him.
Shoot him.
If you could get a deer to look like a real deer in the wild, there was no question. We knew this. It was going to get shot.
There he is. There he is.
Same.
Shoot him. Shoot him.
Okay, we got a shooter. We got a shooter.
Stay game, Warden. Stop. Put your hands on the front windshield now. Front windshield. Stay right where you're at.
Okay, get out and put your hands on the tailgate. Right back here.
We were seeing a growing problem with the road hunting. We had a lot of complaints. We had to go through the director and get his approval to initiate the program. From there, we went to the Wildlife Commission and went into a commission meeting and got their grace. And then I had to look at our laws, our state statutes. So we went and had the Attorney General look at our regulations and laws that we already had, and that was approved. And from there, we started the program.
And they knew I had a video camera, so they got me involved, and we'd go out and set up and waiting for the bad guys. Now the problem with it is you got to have three things. You got to have the game warden, you got to have the deer, and you got to have the bad guy, and you got to have them all at the same place at the exact same time.
Where do we need to set this up? When do we need to set it up? Who do we need there to make sure it's going to be right? Do we need to video it or not? And we decided we did. So the first time with the real decoy, the one John was running the video on, yeah, it was like, ooh. We knew they would shoot if we had people come by to see it, because we knew the problem. But did we get the right spot? Oh, yes, we did.
11:25. Shot fired. 11:26.
It was just a mounted deer with a real hide. It looked really good. And we used that the first muzzleloader season.
Are you still shooting?
If you've seen some of the videos, sometimes people shoot and shoot and shoot and shoot, wondering why that deer doesn't go down. Obviously, they haven't shot up many deer because they'd be taken off.
Driver's getting out.
The DA in Osage County said, yeah, you betcha, I'll take all those you can bring me. He said, particularly if you got them for film, he said, how are they going to argue this deal?
So for a while, people just shot it because here's a deer, quick, slide the brake, back up, out the window, bam, that's how fast it was.
Slowed down like he saw it, but he went on.
The evolution had to happen because people were quitting to shoot. They were looking at it.
And if the deer doesn't show some sign of movement, they don't shoot.
It went from being static, just a mounted deer, to being mobile and to being where it could move. You had the tail moving on it, the head moving on it.
And have all that robotics, it took a lot of money.
To make a mechanical decoy is really pretty tough.
You cannot believe how many landowners funded a decoy being made. So they knew there was one for that area. I would say 50% or more was purchased by landowners that were sick and tired of the road hunters. And they knew they could get something done if there was a decoy working.
Why don't you just play nice?
We know that today the public knows it's going on. Doesn't mean they're not going to do it, they are. But it's also going to mean that they're going to hesitate. And in that hesitation, that deer may get away, or they're going to stop and look and say, it ain't worth it.
It's a great deterrent. It's just like the deterrent. You're driving down the road and you're looking at your speedometer and you're going over and you're thinking, well, I sure don't want to pay that $100 fine, and you slow down. It's a deterrent to some of these bad poachers to stop them, to get them stopped.
No tool we've ever used has had such an impact on one horrible, hard to get a handle on violation. And it's just pretty cool.
Well, thanks for joining us today. And Rachel, thanks for sharing your experiences at the expo with us.
Thank you, Todd. It was so much fun, and I really hope that each of you join us at the expo this year.
You know, we'd encourage you to join us also right here every week on Outdoor Oklahoma.